Guys, right now is one of the best times to be a Dragon Quest fan. A couple years ago, I made a video called Dragon Quest Fans Are Eating Good. And at the time, we had like Dragon Quest Treasures around the corner. We had Dragon Quest XI a few years before that. We had the Dragon Quest Builders games. And Dragon Quest Heroes 2 had come out not too long before that. Looking back now, I kind of laugh because all we were really getting at that time were spin-offs. And we weren't getting anything as far as like re-releases or remakes or other like new mainline games, right? And I gotta say, we still aren't getting any mainline games, not for a little while yet anyways. I'm anticipating we're gonna be getting some announcements as far as Dragon Quest XII sometime this year, with it being the 40th anniversary of the series. If you enjoy Dragon Quest JRPG content like top 10 videos, reviews, guides, podcasts, all that good stuff, be sure to thwack that like button and subscribe. Also turn notifications to all so you don't miss the next episode. Be sure to hype the video if you want to help more people find it. And if you want to help support the channel, you can join the channel and become a Dragon Warrior today. Now let's get into it. Just in the past 5 years, we've got Dragon Quest Treasures. I know not a lot of people are a huge fan of that game. I really enjoyed it personally, but I do get why people don't like it all that much. But it is a new game in the series. It is a great spin-off, and it was supposed to be the next Dragon Quest Monsters game. It's kind of like a Dragon Quest Monsters spin-off whilst also being a Dragon Quest XI spin-off. But we did eventually also get a brand new Dragon Quest Monsters game, Dragon Quest Monsters 3: The Dark Prince, starring my favorite villain of all time, Sorrow the Manslayer. I thought they did an excellent job with this game. It was kind of like a prequel slash at the same time quel.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Of Dragon Quest IV, which again is probably my second favorite game of all time. It did a really good job of showing Sorrow's story from his point of view, and then they throw some twists in there, and they do a good job of kind of explaining why it's different too, using the Sands of Time. You're able to kind of change the trajectory of the story. It was really cool. I was always wanting to see what happened next, or what was actually going on from Sorrow's point of view during Dragon Quest IV. I thought they did a phenomenal job of this. On top of all that good story content about one of my favorite characters ever, we also got some extra story content, of course, for the Chosen, the main characters from Dragon Quest IV. We also got an absolutely incredible Dragon Quest Monsters game out of it. This is probably my favorite Dragon Quest Monsters game to date. They did such an amazing job. They kind of incorporated everything that was good from the Joker games and everything that was good from the classics and meshed it all together. There were so many great monsters in this game. I think there was like over like 250, which is crazy. A little editor's note here, there's actually 526 monsters in this game, which is absolutely freaking insane. And I just really loved this game. We even had a tournament in the Discord. We did one tournament for like just use your strongest party possible and see who wins. And then we did kind of like a timed tournament where everybody had like 15 minutes to half an hour to recruit all the monsters in a specific area that they can, and then do battle the best they can with those monsters. So that was kind of cool because you could have people that didn't spend hours and hours in the post game leveling up their monsters or getting the abilities that they want to min-max everyone out. It could be a fair, even playing ground, and everybody had a blast. It was such a good time. I ended up getting a clutch win somehow because I forgot I had bounce on my character, so did my opponent. It was pretty freaking awesome.
179.
Fuck, man.
Uh-oh.
If I would have been able to paralyze him as part of that paralysis. Oh, the reflect! Oh, I won! Yes!
Oh my god.
That was clutch.
Oh.
The tournaments in it were great. The bonus content was really well done. And yeah, I just loved Dragon Quest Monsters 3: The Dark Prince. And then shortly after that, we got Dragon Quest 3 HD2D Remake. By far the best way to play Dragon Quest 3. If you want to know the best way to play all the great mainline Dragon Quest games, check out this video right here where I talk about the best ways to play each and every one of them. Spoiler alert, Dragon Quest 3 HD2D is the best way to play that game, bar none. I think it was smart of them to start with Dragon Quest 3 because first of all, they did a great job of it. It let us kind of get a taste for what to expect from these HD2D games. games. And I think because of how good 3 was originally and how popular it was back in the day, people were antsy to get their hands on 3. It's got a little bit more meat to it than the original Dragon Quest does, so people had better expectations and were really craving to get in there and play it. And I think what it did was it just made us want to play more HD2D remakes. And that's what we got, man. We got Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD2D Remake, which takes what they kind of did with Dragon Quest 3 HD2D Remake and just sends it into orbit. It's incredible what they were able to do with these classic NES era JRPGs. They turned them into absolute masterpieces. Dragon Quest 1, I've always loved with all my heart. It's one of the first games I ever played. It's definitely the first JRPG and Dragon Quest game I played back on the NES when it was called Dragon Warrior. I love it. I got a lot of bias towards that game, but what they did with it in the HD2D remake, oh my god. It is way better than I could have ever expected that game to have been. They added so much extra like story content to it, fleshed out the world even better than it already was, and they made things matter a lot more. Because before you were just going from place to place, beating dudes up, saving people, but now all those people have their own story. They all have their own motives for what they're doing and why they ended up in these situations. And it's up to you as a lone warrior to go and do your absolute best to protect the world of the Left Guard from the evil forces of the Dragon Lord. I thought it was so well done. You can check my review to get my full thoughts on Dragon Quest 1 HD2D Remake, but like I said in that review, there's no way they could ever do Dragon Quest 1 better than they did in the HD2D Remake. And then we played Dragon Quest 2 HD2D Remake, which Dragon Quest 2 back on the NES was not the best game, let me tell you. It was really rough, the balancing was terrible, the developers themselves mentioned how they didn't even playtest the game after they got the ship, and you can really tell, trust me. But god, this was a masterpiece. They turned what was the worst Dragon Quest game to date into a freaking masterpiece. They made the game fun and enjoyable. They rebalanced everything, obviously. They made all the characters, again, they made them all matter. They gave personalities to the main cast. The Prince of Canic, the Princess of Canic, who they added to the game. They added to the story. The Princess of Moonbrook. They gave her probably the best story in the game. Because if you remember back on the NES, right at the start of the game, her country gets annihilated by the Children of Hargon. And now you get to kind of feel what she's feeling throughout the entirety of the game. You get to experience the game a lot more from these characters' point of view, and you come across characters in the game that are also suffering like the Princess of Moonbrook was. She has such a great arc in this game. She kind of goes from wanting to just get revenge and eliminate all monsters from the world to slowly kind of growing back her heart and not losing the person that she was before the disaster struck. I thought they did such an incredible job with Dragon Quest 2 HD2D Remake, and then not too long after that, we got a reimagining of another one of my favorite games of all time, Dragon Quest 7. Now, a lot of people are complaining, Dragon Quest 7, they cut a little bit of content, but they added a ton to this game. Probably my biggest gripe, honestly, with the Dragon Quest 7 reimagining is they did take a lot of monsters out that were like exclusive to Dragon Quest 7, and they were iconic monsters, like Captain Catastrophe. Come on, he's like one of the best dudes ever. This is the only game he was in, and now he's not in it. So that sucks, but they improved so many other things in this game. They made the characters a lot more fleshed out, in my opinion, despite not having party chat in every aspect of the game. The PS1 version, you could party chat in battle if you wanted. In this, the party chat's definitely dialed back, but I feel like with the voice acting, maybe just the vocal direction, the characters are so much more likable, and I feel like I get to know them a lot better now than I ever did before. I even liked Maribel, and I freaking hated her forever. I thought the streamlining of the menuing, the moonlighting system, so you can have two vocations at the same time, was phenomenal. They just did such a really, really good job of this remake, and all these remakes, honestly, they did such a good job. I really hope that we get Dragon Quest 4 has like the reimagined graphical style, but with all the perks and additions and love and care that the HD2D remakes have gotten. I just don't really want to go back to that HD2D style if we don't have to. I love the graphical style of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I'm so glad that game got remade for a modern audience, because that, like I said, is one of my favorite games of all time, and not enough people play it. Dragon Quest VII really never got the love that it deserved until recently, and that just warms my heart so much because there are so many excellent stories in this game. So I feel like it's a huge loss that a lot of even Dragon Quest fans haven't experienced all that Dragon Quest VII has to offer. So yeah, is this the best era to be a Dragon Quest fan? It might be. The only other eras I can think of, like obviously if you lived in Japan in the late 80s, early 90s, you'd have played Dragon Quest 3, then shortly after that, like 1 year later, you'd have played Dragon Quest 4. I don't even know if it was a full year after. And then you just wait a little bit, you got Dragon Quest 5 on the Super Famicom. That would have been an excellent time to be a Dragon Quest fan as well. Here in the West, probably the other best time to be a fan would have been when they were just cranking out those DS remakes. We had Dragon Quest 8, we had all the Zenithian Trilogy remakes on the DS. We had Dragon Quest 9 came out, and to this day it was probably the Dragon Quest game that was marketed the best. I know so many people who have played Dragon Quest 9 and have just never played another Dragon Quest game for whatever reason. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about how great it is to be a Dragon Quest fan right now. If you're a new fan, you are jumping in at the perfect time. I mean, there's no wrong time to be a fan of Dragon Quest, let me tell you. There's so many games. There's so many games you can check out. So even if we were in a drought of new games, there are so many games you can go back to that are absolutely incredible and enjoy them to the fullest. But right now, they're just cranking out the hits, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications to all so you don't miss the next one. Again, you can hype this video if you want to help more people see it. And if you want to help me out, be sure to join the channel, become a Dragon Warrior today. Let me know down in the comments when you think the golden age of Dragon Quest was. What are some of your favorite back-to-back Dragon Quest game experiences? I know there's a lot of people who only play the Dragon Quest Monsters games and have never played a mainline Dragon Quest game, which is crazy to me. But tell me why in the comments. If you're a fan of the Monster series and you've never given the mainline series a chance, you gotta give it a chance, you guys. Thanks again, guys. I will see you in the next one.